and she has a husband who I also have a casual relationship with as well.
How can you go for somebody else at the same time as me? Am I not enough?
You just told me that I should be single.
You're just cheating.
Let me finish.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I was expecting a man.
I was also expecting a man, actually.
No, men are whores.
Women can be whores too.
Yeah, everyone can be a whore.
Yes.
100%. Everyone's whores, yeah. Polyamory is just an excuse to avoid commitment and cheat freely.
This is a very common misconception about polyamory, that it's the same as cheating. But I don't think that's true at all. Cheating is when you break boundaries in a relationship, and in an open relationship or a polyamorous relationship, we have different boundaries, but we have boundaries as well.
What boundaries? Because I don't feel like open relationships have any boundaries. Everything's on the table.
Well, that's where you would be wrong. I mean, you know, I can feel disrespected and violated and, you know, just like you.
So but
I would be, yeah, but that doesn't mean that my relationship doesn't have rules. We have rules as well. They're just different from monogamous rules.
You're just cheating, but with a nice title on it. Like, I feel like if you're polyamorous, you're just trying to glorify cheating. Like, just be single. I don't understand. Like, why would you go through all the stress of, oh yeah, okay, we can talk to each other, invest time into each other, but then go chat to other people when you can just be single and do whatever you want and nobody's going to say anything? What is the point?
Because I want to be in a relationship and because I love the people that I'm in a relationship with.
They commit to one person.
Why?
How can you love all of them?
I love each of them in different ways.
Are you in?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I have a boyfriend. I have a partner who is also a woman, and she has a husband who I also have. I'm also have in a casual relationship with as well.
Wait, if I was in a polyamorous relationship, I'm not, and I won't be. But if I was to be in one, I would feel hurt. How can you go for somebody else at the same time as me? Am I not enough?
That's so interesting because I feel the complete opposite way. I really love it seeing my partner with other people. It makes me really happy.
Sorry, oh my gosh.
It does. I think we just, you know, I think we're just built different. When I'm in a relationship, I want them to be with other people. It makes me happy, and they also encourage me to be with other people. And I think that the energy that we get from our other connections enriches and enhances our connection as well. I think it's so interesting that when we both walked in, both of us assumed the other person would be a man.
Why did you think I would be a man?
I expected a man because often men are kind of, you know, possessive over women in relationships. And so I expected a man to be opposite me, being like, why won't you just be a good girl and, you know, not be have with anyone else or something, you know? I was expecting something like that. So it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too, girl. Yeah. But I feel like the reason I thought you were a man is because I just feel like men just like to have their cake and eat it.
I don't think that any gender is kind of biologically more, I don't know, sexually aggressive or anything like that than the other. I'm a very sexual woman, and I've often met but I've often met men who feel threatened or emasculated by this. I'm very extroverted as well. You know, I'm a very social person. I think that's kind of part of why I'm polyamorous. I just really love connecting with people, and I like having new experiences. I'm very curious and very adventurous.
I feel like I'm very extroverted, and I still don't feel like having multiple partners kind of soothes that extroversion. People are wired to want more than one partner.
Well, I think that this is obviously a very general statement. I have met people who, when they get into relationships, genuinely just are focused on that one person. And I think it's very normal for a lot of people to experience attraction outside the relationship. Of course, attraction doesn't necessarily necessitate action, you know. Just because you find someone attractive, it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to go and pursue that. I also know that cheating is extremely common. In every relationship that I'm in, we have specific agreements. So because, you know, both of us are seeing other people, so, you know, to keep ourselves safe and keep other people safe, you know, we agree, yeah, we'll get tested every 3 months. If there is an infection, hasn't happened yet, but if there is one, then we'll obviously disclose that. Well, I mean, there's not, you know, like STIs aren't a death sentence like they used to be, you know. True. You know, like I think there's this misconception that polyamorous people like lack self-control or are just kind of acting on impulse. And that's not the case. Like, in fact, because we're keeping track of so many different people, We have to be
a lot of
very
effort.
organized. Yeah, it
That's
is a lot
too
of
much
effort.
effort
I
for
mean,
me.
I respect if you don't want to invest all that time
me.
into it, but for me, I think it's very energizing, so I think it's worth it.
I feel like people are wired to want one person, but you know, some people have other wirings.
Monogamy is outdated. It's just so men can control women.
No, I don't agree.
Yeah, I don't
I don't
agree
think
either.
it's outdated.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very much still in society. Like, you know, in weddings, there's one person that goes to another. There's not two waiting. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's in society, talking about society, obviously, I'm not disrespectful to anybody else's belief, but like, society is kind of built for monogamous relationships. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think that we live in a mononormative society. That's where kind of monogamy is encouraged and often viewed as compulsory. As you have very clearly established,
sorry.
monogamy, is kind of seen as like the only kind of valid relationship style. Everything outside of that is seen as not a relationship. You just told me that I should be single.
No, I just want to know why. Like,
Okay.
I'm not saying don't. If you feel like what you're doing is working for you, who am I to say? I'm not here to judge. But I just wonder, like, why? What is the difference between being single and being in an open relationship?
Well, being in an open relationship means that I am in a relationship. It means I love my partner, and it means that I'm committed to them.
I'd get too jealous seeing my partner with someone else.
I think there's a misconception that polyamorous people don't experience jealousy. In reality, I don't think there's necessarily a correlation. I've definitely, let me finish.
Oh, sorry.
So there's a misconception that, kind of not feeling jealousy is a prerequisite to being in an open relationship, and that's not necessarily the case. We just spoke earlier about boundaries, and people get uncomfortable, people feel disrespected, you have a conversation about it, right? So now, I feel very secure with my partner, even if they were to go and be with someone else, if they were, out on a date, I feel very happy for them, honestly, because I know that it doesn't threaten our relationship that they're with other people.
That's a very mature level of security. Me, I don't have it. Sorry. If I see, as soon as I even, like, if we shake hands, you're mine now.
Wow, that's extreme.
Yeah. If we shake hands, you're mine. Like, that's how territorial I am. Like, sorry. I can't, the thought of it makes my stomach hurt. To see someone let's say I'm in love with, going with someone else, I would lose my mind. I don't know how you don't. What's mine, I don't want to be accessible to other people because I'm going to do the same and not be accessible to other people. Do you know what I mean? Polyamorous couples are unable to form deep connections with each other. I already know you're going to disagree, so just tell me why.
I know that my partner is with me not because, they don't have options, but because they genuinely enjoy their time with me and want to spend it with me and choose to spend it with me every day.
That's the same with having one person.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I think when you have one person, it's like, I know you're with me or you've like made me your girlfriend because you want me. I do agree though, for once we can agree on something. I do think that, it does help. You can establish deep connections. I don't think maybe you can establish like the same level of deep with all of them, but I do think that you can establish deep connections. Do you think this has been hashed out?
I think in some ways, yes.
Wow. I feel like, no, you did enlighten me a little bit, but I still have the same opinion.
Which is?
That just do what you want.
I think we can both agree on that, do what you want.
I do feel like it's just, I don't know, like it shouldn't be a discussion. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, then do it.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I just hope that people in polyamorous relationships can be respected and not be seen as like just kind of fooling around or being single or just casually dating. My relationships are just as serious as yours.
Yes. We can agree to disagree on that too. It hasn't changed my perspective. I still feel the same. I don't feel like it's pointless, but like I understand now.
I'm a little bit sad that, I wasn't able to convince her that polyamorous relationships are just as valid as monogamous ones. I think that, my partners are very important to me, and the fact that, only one of them or none of them, are seen as like real or true love really hurts me. I'm used to it by now, but, I recognize that not everyone has as thick of a skin as I do.
I was very surprised by like the person who I was speaking to, I did not expect it to be a woman. I thought it was going to be a man because I just feel like men are more promiscuous and just choose to have more partners. But after hearing her speak, I see why she does it. I wouldn't, but I see why she does.
No, I wouldn't say my perspective has changed. I think that when monogamous people criticize me, they're often coming from a misinformed place. I think like the discussion that I had with this person, it was very clear that she was very misinformed about how polyamorous relationships work, and didn't really kind of think through like the logistics of our boundaries and like communication and like the love and intimacy we share. I don't think she was very interested in hearing about that. Like I think she was very kind of set in her views.
I wouldn't sit down with her for another chat. Maybe about something else, but not about the same topic. I feel like she got everything off her chest and there's not really much more to say on that topic.
I would be willing to sit down for another chat with this person if they were genuinely willing to hear more and be curious about how my relationships work. Not come at me with like so many kind of misconceptions and judgments when, they probably haven't met a polyamorous person before. I don't feel the need to justify myself to someone who is intent on misunderstanding me.